All right. Make sure you unmute yourself. We're waiting for you. We'll wait. Right. Gianna's still. Are you good? Wait, Eva's not. Eva's muted.
She's muted.
Eva, you're muted.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
And
for which it stands one nation, God,
indivisible.
with liberty and justice.
Thank you, ladies. Okay, the mission statement of Lee Public Schools is to ensure students have the opportunity to develop the social, civil, and critical thinking skills to thrive in an ever-changing world. Brenda, can you do a roll call for us, please?
Mr. Robin?
Here.
Mr. Kenneth?
Here.
Mrs. Kushar?
She's not here.
Ms. Larman?
Here.
Mr. Nichols?
Here.
Ms. Strickler?
Here.
Mrs. Wadsworth?
She may join us later. Okay, next thing up on our agenda is the approval of the April 5th Lee School Committee meeting minutes. I will entertain a motion.
Motion to accept minutes from April 5th.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you do a roll call, please?
I'm sorry, who had the second?
Aaron.
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth?
Yes.
Ms. Larman?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
And Ms. Strickler?
Yes. And then next, we need an approval of the April 11th, 2022 Lee School Committee meeting minutes. We have a motion?
Motion to accept the minutes from April 11th.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you do another roll call, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth?
Abstain.
Ms. Larman?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Abstain. All right, next up on our agenda is old business. We need to reapprove our FY23 budget. So do I have a motion to approve our FY23 budget?
I make a motion. I motion for the Lee School Committee to endorse and approve the fiscal year 23 budget at $11,714,152, using up to $800,000 of school choice, up to $524,250 of grant funding, and up to $100,000 of circuit breaker to offset the budget, leaving an allocation at town meeting of $10,164,902. A second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth?
Yes.
Ms. Larman?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes. Okay, the next thing up on our old business are our tuition agreements. The first tuition agreement will be the one with Farmington River.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to accept the Farmington River School District tuition agreement as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Larman?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes. And then the next one that we need to do is the tuition agreement for Terringham.
I'll make a motion to accept the Terringham tuition agreement as presented.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we have another roll call, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes,
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
thank you, everybody. All right, next up is public input.
Members of the public are invited to address the committee at this time. Issues raised will normally be referred to the administration or a subcommittee of the school committee. Anybody out there with a public input today? I don't see Kathy Hall today.
Any hands?
No.
All right. Moving on to reports. Do we, I know I saw her. There she is, Emma Polari.
Yes, Emma Punt had a tennis match, so I'm filling in for her today. But coming for the student report, this week we have the first round of AP testing. I believe tomorrow is the first test with AP Literature, followed by AP Stats, Coding. And then next week is Bio and Physics. So that's kind of a busy week for students in that regard. And then the student government is also planning an activity for May 12th. We're calling it the Love to Learn activity, where we're inviting some teachers and some community members to come in and teach skills that aren't normally taught in school. We're doing it for the middle school. So the middle school, we set into groups for about an hour and a half where they'll learn about something that they haven't learned about in school. So we're hoping to make that a success. And then that's our focus right now. So that's really all I have for tonight.
Thank you so much, Emma. I appreciate it. No,
Okay.
but thanks for asking. Next up, we have the chair report. And my first order of business is to don't go anywhere, Emma, come back. I would like to recognize our two amazing student representatives. So Emma, even though you're not here, I don't know if you can see this, but we have certificates for Emma Polari and for Emma Punton, or the Emmas, as I lovingly refer to both of you. I want to thank you. I think we all want to thank you for doing such an amazing job of representing your class peers at the school committee every month. This has been really great because you have given us more information about what's really happening within the school environment, which has been great for us because we're not there every day, so we don't always know what's going on. So it's been very enlightening for me to know what's still going on in the building because I don't have kids in the building anymore, so I don't know what's happening. So I really want to thank you both for taking the time to give of your time to come to these meetings because they can go on forever and you all sit here very patiently. So thank you for that. Please, I'm going to give these to Mr. Briganti. So please go and pick up your certificate with Mr. Briganti. And good luck. We will miss you.
Thank you. It was my pleasure.
Next year.
Thank you guys for being willing to listen to us. So.
And we wish you the very, I'm going to see, I'm going to be up on stage with you, so I'm going to get to wish you the best in a month's time. But I want to wish you, and I wish Emma, the other Emma was here, so hopefully, I know she's not going to watch the recording because why would you? But please tell her that we wish her the very best as well in her future. And we are very, very proud of both of you. So thank you.
You're welcome. I'll relay the message to her.
And I'm sure my fellow school committee members would also like to give you a round of applause. Thank you. And usually we get an update from our MASC president right now, but she is stuck at work dealing with the construction at BCC tonight. So she is not here to give us an update. So we're not going to get one. So we're moving right on to the superintendent's update.
All right, good evening and thank you, Ms. Larman, and thank you, Emma, very much for your dedicated service. Quick of notes of appreciation. It is Teacher Appreciation Week across the country, and I don't know if we always get the opportunity to thank all of our staff for everything that they do, and I find it important for us to make sure that we're recognizing all of our educators, our teachers, our paraprofessionals, all of our support staff, everybody who comes to a school each and every day to give all of our students the best that we have. So thank you for your time, your effort, and your energies in the service that you provide. A new or perhaps slightly recurring, as I may understand it, opportunity being presented across Berkshire County through MCLA is recognizing outstanding educators for their specific roles. And so we've got 6 educators from the Lee Public Schools who are being recognized at MCLA on Thursday, May 26th. And there's some teachers, paras, support staff, and administrators. So from the pre-K to grade 5 group, a congratulations to Kathy DeVarens, who I think is in the audience tonight. In the grades 6 through 12 category, Robin Curry. Our paraprofessional of choice was Evelyn Deming. Our specialist is Nicole Clark. In nursing and health department is Janine Salvatore, and our administrator is Principal Greg Briganti. So
Great job, guys.
I don't, there will be some benefit to those educators who are being recognized for their efforts. I don't know what those are yet, but we look forward to finding out on Thursday, May 26th. Quick enrollment update, we're at 634 students right now. And so we are hoping that number is going to increase for school year 22-23. But there wasn't too much that changed. We had some come and some go since our last meeting, but we're holding tight at 634. Again, the enrollment breakdown, you see, we just approved some tuition agreements. So you're seeing that we've got 47 students who are tuitioning in. The numbers vary from district to district, but we've got some work to do to get more students in for school choice, which leads us to this next slide. And that is that right now we've got 19 students who have truly expressed interest. This is beyond, submitting an application. This is, hey, we're really interested in joining the Lee Public Schools next year. So again, we approved, I think the number is 165 total seats. So we've got a lot of room for growth there, and we'll continue to reach out. And I would encourage those people who are in the audience tonight, if you have any colleagues, friends, or family in surrounding districts who may be interested in coming to the Lee Public Schools, to reach out to my office or Principal Briganti or Principal Mertnook, and we can talk to them about the benefits of being part of the Lee Public Schools. For those of you who either get on or off the pike every day, Mr. Aubin, or many of us who are driving up and down, through town, there's a great billboard there that highlights a partnership with BCC, and Kat's one of our students, and it's a great photo and a great opportunity and a great way for everyone in the county who gets off exit 10 to know the benefits of not just the Lee Public Schools, but of our partnership with BCC. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. Our staffing needs haven't changed. We talk about this every month. If there are people who are interested in joining our team, they're welcome to apply for various opportunities that are available. Food Service Director update. We have secured the services of Shannon Gagliardo to be our new Food Service Director. Shannon is going to spend some time with Lori Goodfellow during the month of May and early June to get familiar with the staff, not just here in Lee, but also in Lenox. That is, again, a shared position with Lenox. I was impressed with the candidates who applied for the position. And I think we were in a very fortunate position to be able to make an educated offer, and that we look forward to welcoming Shannon into our schools. I know Mr. Briganti may talk to you a little bit about this, but we've got a lot of events coming up in the 28 school days that remain. Nobody's counting. There's an expressive arts show coming up. We've got Special Olympics. We've got art shows at the Lee Library. And of course, we have all those things that are associated with the class of 2022, including prom, class night, and graduation. There's a grade 8 bridging ceremony, and the last day of school is indeed Monday, June the 13th. Again, commencement is going to return to Tanglewood this year. So we're excited about that on June the 4th at 1:30 at Tanglewood. So we look forward to seeing all of our graduates and their families and friends supporting them. the class of 22 aren't the only people who will be leaving us in June. We also have a number of staff who are retiring, and normally this is something I would present to you in June, but our meeting is the day after the last day of school. So I thought it would be important to recognize the service that Jane Belanger, Mary Bienvenue, Pam Briggs, Nancy Forget, Lori Goodfellow, Tom Trapka, and Mary Verdi have provided to the Lee Public Schools. There are a lot of years of service there, not all of them with the Lee Public Schools, but I can promise you they've all given something every day to our students to make their educational experience an excellent one. And finally, it's again a few days early, but happy Mother's Day to our, why do I get emotional over this? To our school committee members who are moms, and our staff who are moms, and our community members who are working so hard to raise students to be great people. And so on Sunday, May 8th, I wish you all a very wonderful day.
Thank you kindly. I speak as a mom. Thank you. Anybody have any questions for Mike? I personally would like to thank all the staff of Lee Public Schools too. Teachers should be appreciated for more than a week a year. I think if nothing, COVID has proved that you guys are rock stars, and people do not appreciate you guys for what you guys do, because you guys kept things going during a pandemic like nobody else could have. So thank you for everything that you do. Next up, we have principals and director reports, starting with Tim Mertnook from Lee Elementary School.
All right. We just finished up our first round of MCAS testing. We did our ELA for grades 3 through 6. And we've got math on the horizon at the end of the month, as well as science. Summer school planning continues. It's going to be June 27th through the 21st, Monday through Thursday, 8:30 to 11:30. We sent the first round of invites last week, and we'll send another round this week. Day and evening kindergarten registrations took place on the 26th, and they went really well. We have screenings the middle of this month, on the 11th and the 12th, and then orientation for kindergarten will be May 25th. We've got several events coming up soon. One starting tomorrow actually is the book fair, which is in our library, which will be 5:30 to 7:30, as well as family fun night, which will be tomorrow evening from 6 to 7. And as Superintendent Richard said, there's an expressive art show 4 to 5 on May 9th. Student council's been really busy. They helped support the walk to school with the Berkshire Humane Society, and even visited their site, did some good work there. And then we've got a couple band concerts coming up as well at the end of the month, 24th and 26th at 7 o'clock. And if anybody wants to see a list of any of the LES events coming up, they're on our website, and they're also in the newsletter that we send out 3 times a month. Pushing the newsletter.
Any questions for Tim? Thank you, Tim.
All right.
All right, next up, we have Greg Briganti from Lee Middle and High School.
Thank you. I'm going to be very quick this evening as well. School committee members should have found at their tables a calendar of the LMHS year-end events. These are the public events, and you're all certainly welcome to attend any of them that you're able to, and that goes to the community as well. I'll highlight a couple because this week on Thursday night, just 2 days from now, is our spring concert in the Z at 7 o'clock. Next Wednesday, Special Olympics occurs down at Monument Mountain. And next Thursday night at 5 o'clock is the Senior Art Show reception at the Lee Library. So it's a very cool event. Go and see some of the great artwork that our senior portfolio students have created this year. Mrs. Clark always puts on a nice little spread of munchies as well for that event. A couple weeks later, on the 25th, is the Underclass Art Show reception, also at the Lee Library, the 25th at 5 o'clock. Same basic setup, although it's a little wider range of materials and artworks that are being presented. Friday the 27th is our prom. 6:30 is the walk-in at Berkshire Hills Country Club up in Pittsfield. Our first real prom in a couple of years. And then class night on Thursday, June 2nd at 6:30 in the Z, where all of our seniors are recognized and scholarships and awards are announced. Graduation at 1:30 on Saturday, June 4th at Tanglewood. And our 8th grade bridging ceremony on Friday, June 10th at 9:30 here in the Z. So all of those events, you're certainly welcome to attend and hope to see you at some of those. And that's all I have today.
All right. Any questions for Greg? All right. Next up, we have Jen Norton with special education.
Hi, so we had preschool screenings the last week, actually, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We had a good turnout for students who were going to be turning 3 or 4 by October 1st of this year. If anyone happened to miss those dates and you have a child that's going to be either 3 or 4 years old, please call my office, the special education office, or the main office at the elementary school, and we will get you an appointment set up for a screening. We do have some open spots for our 3-year-old program next year, so definitely give us a call. Special education programming invitations will be going out next week for summer programming. Our programming also goes June 27th to July 21st, with 1 or 2 programs that extend 1 week further to July 28th. We are doing something a little bit exciting this year. We're actually expanding the special education programming at the elementary school and combining it with Mr. Mertnick's programming. So the kids are going to have more of an option for more services, where they'll be able to be here 4 days a week rather than just 2 for tutoring. And we have some teachers who have agreed to add some support to the things that are already going on in the classroom. So I think it'll be exciting. We'll see if it works. And those invitations will be going out next week from the liaisons, and they will have more information for you. If you have any questions, you can also call my office. We are winding down with meetings for the school year, but we are looking for feedback from families about whether or not they want to continue to hold their team meetings virtually, or if they would like to go back to in person, or if they would like to have the option. So we'll be sending out some surveys here as we get down to the end of the year. We've had a lot more, I think, input from families and a little bit flexibility. So I think we're probably going to lean towards keeping both as an option. So families that would like to come in are welcome to do that, and families that would prefer the virtual option. It's been really nice, and we've been able to get like MRC and DDS and a lot of outside services to join us, because then they only may need to be there for a half an hour or 45 minutes. So it's allowed us to collaborate with a lot of other community services. And we also have quite a few positions open for both the summer and for 2022 and 23 school year. So if you are looking for positions, please check our website. And we'd love to have you. That's all.
All right. Any questions for Jen? All right. Thank you. Is Jordan up there?
Jordan is not able to join us tonight. I will tell you that he did send me a rather lengthy list of bulleted items, most of which, full disclosure, the community as a whole is probably not interested in hearing. So I will, I'll send those along to school committee members.
Okay.
So you've got that in front of you to see.
All right. So next up, we have our committee reports. So Finance Committee with Andy.
Yes, so earlier this evening, we had our finance subcommittee, and we had 2 warrants that were approved by the committee. The first one is the accounts payable of a total of $228,031.27.
All right, so I will entertain a motion for the accounts payable.
Make a motion to accept accounts payable in the amount $228,031.27.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we have a roll call, please?
Mr. Robin,
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth.
Yes.
Ms. Larmen,
Yes.
Mr. Nichols,
Yes.
Ms. Strickler.
Yes.
Right, the second warrant was the payroll warrant, which was a total of $559,158.07.
Okay, I will entertain a motion for the payroll. Yes. again. Oh,
All right.
I'll make a-
I'll motion for, to accept the payroll in the amount of $559,158.07.
Second.
any discussion? Brenda, can you do a roll call?
Mr. Robin,
Yes.
Mr. Kenneth,
Yes.
Ms. Larmen,
Yes.
Mr. Nichols,
Abstain.
and Ms. Strickland.
Abstain.
All right. And the next item on our agenda is our new business is our school resource officer. So we've got Craig DeSantis and Jason, I think, yes, Jason, you are, I see him, he's over there. Jason Hopkins in our audience here to answer any questions. The policy subcommittee met, I don't remember, we met recently, I don't remember the date, to discuss adding a school resource officer to the school. And we did approve the, help me, my brain's not
Draft
working. Their
memorandum
draft
of understanding.
memorandum of agreement as the policy committee. And so now we need to talk about it as a full committee.
So the, if you'd like the.
I would like.
Thank you. It's okay. So I've worked with Chief DeSantis to address the concern of whether to add a school resource officer to the schools using community impact funding. And I think that we've got a great opportunity for us here to build relationships, not just between town departments, but between the Lee PD and our students and staff. And so the MOU has been vetted at the state level and by our local council. Attorney Dupre has reviewed it and has given it the thumbs up. At this point, and I if I could, I'll let Chief DeSantis speak to this, but the timing of when we may be able to implement this school resource officer position is a little bit slave to when they are fully staffed and able to bring in a complement of officers to fill some vacancies. But Chief DeSantis would be in a better position to speak to that.
Go for it, Craig. You're
You're
muted.
Yes, sorry about that. So I just wanted to say thank you to the committee, to both principals and to the superintendent for considering this and the subcommittee before you all as well. I'm going to introduce myself. I think I know most everybody, but I'm Craig DeSantis, the police chief for the Lee Police Department. I come to you as a police chief, but I was telling the subcommittee, I also come to you as somebody that came through the school system. And I think perhaps even more importantly, as a parent that had 3 of my own children come through the system. So I care a great deal about the success of this program and the success of the police department, our community, and the school system collectively. So, as chief, I'm proud of our department and the services and the resources that we provide. But I also recognize that there's always room for improvement. And I saw this as a fantastic way to improve those resources and improve how we can serve our community. So essentially, that's why I'm so eager to bring this SRO into the school system. I think we can all agree that our children are the most important members of our community. And I think, unfortunately, many of us also understand they can sometimes be the most vulnerable members of our community. So, I see this SRO program as a way to collaborate with the schools and build some really great lasting relationships, but I also see it as an opportunity for positive relationships to be built with our children. And I want them to recognize, that an officer is somebody that they can confide in, somebody that they can trust. And I want them to see an officer as somebody that's there to help them and not somebody to be afraid of. And really, the best way to do that is have those positive engagements. And, I think that's probably the most important part of this program, having an officer involved in the lives of our children. So, again, these are the main reasons why I want to get this program off the ground. And obviously, if there's an officer present in the schools for any, it ensures the quickest response for any other public safety issues or school safety issues that may arise. Obviously, an officer on scene is the best way to be proactive as far as that. But it's that, larger picture that I wanted to bring forward to this committee. And essentially, those are all the reasons why I really look forward to bringing this program from conception to operational. And of course, I'll take any questions. I have Jason Hopkins here. Officer Hopkins has been an SRO for a number of years. He's highly qualified. He's a parent himself, and he has a lot of additional training and experience as an SRO. And I believe he has done a fantastic job to this point as a part-time SRO. Just to be clear, we already have an SRO system, but it's just not a full-time position. That's what we're trying to make it a full-time position.
Craig, can you talk a little bit about the timeline that you talked to the policy committee about with getting this really up and running as a full-time?
Sure. So right now, it's a very difficult process to bring a full-time officer from a candidate to a working officer. Right now, we are in the process of hiring 3 additional police officers, one of which will backfill Officer Hopkins' position. That, unfortunately, I'm beholden to the MPTC, which is basically the Massachusetts training body that trains and certifies police officers. So that's probably going to take the entire next school year to do. So we'll keep Officer Hopkins in on a part-time basis next year. If I get lucky, and it doesn't seem that it's going to be that way, but if I get lucky with a lateral transfer in the meantime, we could, be in a position where we can bring him in much sooner. But it's looking like we're probably going to have to stay with the part-time basis for the next school year, and then go fully operational the following year after that.
Any questions for Craig? Yes.
Hi, Betsy Strickler. I'm just curious about the history of why the need to go from part-time to full-time. And as I looked through the roles and responsibilities, obviously the number one is providing law enforcement. So just understanding a little bit more behind the reasons to go part-time to full-time, and if the providing law enforcement was a piece of that conversation.
So there's really no short answer to that. We try to collaborate with the school, and what we find is, we're helping our principals with more and more different situations. It's Lee. I don't think we'll ever be solely focused on law enforcement, to answer you directly. I think it's more of a collaboration to build those relationships. But having said that, again, we are there if there is a law enforcement role to be had. But our main focus is to do community programs, engage with the kids on a daily basis, and help out when and where a law enforcement is needed.
And is there enough work that you need to go from part-time to full-time? I guess sort of that history of why the need to progress to full-time.
Yeah, so that's the beauty of this program. I know Officer Hopkins is looking forward to working with our 2 principals, and we can build this program and plug him in when and where needed. So it's something where we're gonna collaborate, and we're gonna work together to develop a program that really serves our community, serves our school, serves our children.
And I think if I'm correct, there wasn't funding for a full-time position prior to this, correct?
That's correct. That is correct.
Couldn't fund a full-time position, so that's why we only had a part-time position.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there's no short amount of work that can be done.
I think I might just kind of break it here also, police officers are also certified first responders. They respond to medical emergencies. So having, a police officer on campus between the 2 buildings, not only for law enforcement, for public safety as well as emergencies of that type. So, having Officer Hopkins on scene, really, not that, response times or anything crazy for this community, but having somebody in the building or in one of the buildings, if there was a medical emergency, would be a great help and a great asset to the community. My opinion.
Any other questions for Craig?
I'll make a motion to accept the memorandum of understanding for the school resource officer as presented.
I will second it.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Ms.
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Craig and Jason, for being here. I really appreciate it. Jason, even though you didn't get to say anything, I appreciate you sitting through the whole meeting. I really appreciate you both coming and helping to explain what was going on. We look forward to working with you guys in the future. Thank you.
Absolutely, and thank you all.
Okay, future business. Our next school committee meeting is June 14th, after school finishes, after graduation. And so the next thing on our agenda is adjournment. I will entertain a motion for adjournment.
Second.
No, you
Oh, so yeah, sorry, I was somewhere else. I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Sorry.
Any discussion? Brenda, can you roll call us out, please?
Mr. Robin?
Yes.
Dennis?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Nichols?
Yes.
Ms. Strickler?
Yes.
We are adjourned at 7:38.